Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a child's pose position. Bring your big toes together, spread your knees apart, and start to walk your hands out in front of you. Maybe your forehead makes it down to the mat. Allow your hips to sink down onto your heels. And start to bring focus and awareness to the expansion of your breath. With every inhale, think of filling the space in your lower back. Think of that space getting wider as you breathe in. And as you exhale, allow yourself to sink a little bit heavier into your child's pose. Think of your hips being heavy on your heels, your torso being heavy on your thighs. From your child's pose, start to bring your knees and your ankles together. And then walk your fingertips over to the left and actively send your hips over to the right. So this is a counter stretch that is hopefully opening a little bit more into your outer right glute. And then also notice any sensation or lengthening you can feel through the right side of your back body. As you breathe length and expansion into that space. And then move to the opposite side so your fingertips can go over to the right and your hips can go over to the left. Bring your knees and ankles together. Notice any opening you may feel in your outer left glute, and then all along your left back body. And move yourself back to center and come up to tabletop, all fours tabletop with shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Lift your right leg out to the side, and then turn your right knee in towards your left knee. And do that again, open the knee up as much as you can, and then turn the right knee into the left knee. And take this about 3 or 4 more times, just finding a little bit of early mobility into your right hip joint. And just notice your range of motion, how that moves. Our next move is going to be a little bit funky. Take your right ankle so it slides over your left knee. You may have to adjust your legs a little bit. Pop your back toes under, and then start to find cat and cow from here. So you want to think of encouraging your right knee back and open. The front of your right hip is nice and open as well. Inhale, arch through your spine, lift through your gaze. And exhale for a cat spine, push into the ground and dome through your upper back. So continue to move through your cat and cow. Nice juicy movements here. Notice how this cat and cow may feel a little different, especially through your right hip. And find a few more of these. And then shift so your back left knee snugs underneath your right knee, and then send your hips back. Aim your hips so they come between your ankles for a cross-legged child's pose. This may feel a little bit intense through your outer glutes, outer hips. Just allow breath to come into this space. You may feel that you're kind of sitting on one or both of your feet or your ankles, and that's okay. Your hips may feel really off the ground, that's okay too. Early opening into the hips. Walk your fingertips over to the right diagonal of your mat. Especially with your left hand, try to reach as far as you can. So you can breathe expansion and length all along the left side of your body. And then walk your fingertips over to the left and energize your right butt bone down to the ground. So once again, we find that expansion, that length that you can create, that nice stretch into the right back body. And then move your fingers back to center. Roll yourself back up. Unravel your legs so you're back in a tabletop position. Once here, start to find some movement through your spine, maybe moving in some circles through your ribs, your hips, your head. Whatever feels good, just allow a little bit of release before we move on to the second side. And your breath doesn't have to exactly match, but just infuse your breath with your movement. Come back to neutral tabletop, open your left knee out to the side, and then internally rotate so your left knee points towards your right knee. And then once again, open the left knee, and then rotate the left knee. We'll take about 3 or 4 more of these, just getting some nice range of motion into your left hip. Stay solid in your shoulders and upper body. After your last one, once again, we'll slide the left ankle so it comes on top of the right knee. And you may have to adjust your back foot and your hands just a little bit and able to access this. As much as you can, try to pull your left knee back. You can flip your right toes under, start to move through cat and cow. Inhale, arch through your spine, lift through your gaze. Feel this nice opening into your hip. And exhale for cat spine, push into the ground and dome through your upper back. And continue to move between these two postures. And notice sensation you may feel through your left hip, through the front of your hip, through the sides of your hip. And try to take this a little bit slower. So really articulate through the spine and notice sensation or difference in sensation as you come into an arch versus coming into a contraction or a rounding. And then last one, sneak your right knee so it comes right behind your left knee. Separate your ankles as much as you can. Send your hips so they come between your shins, and then walk your fingertips out in front of you. So you're coming into this cross-legged child's pose. And the hips may be high up off the mat, that's okay. Head may not touch the ground either, that's all right. This is a pretty big one for your outer hips, outer glutes. Walk your fingertips so they come over to the right. Try to be a little more active through your left hand. And simultaneously pull your left butt bone as much to the left as you can. Think of grounding through your left butt bone. And then move through center and walk your fingertips so they come over to the left side of your mat. Pull your right hip down and stretch as far through your right fingertips as you can. Feel this expansion all along the right side of your back. And move back through center. Bring yourself up to a tabletop position. Unravel your knees. And then from your tabletop, flip your toes under and move to a downward facing dog. Reach your right leg high and then bend your right knee and open your hip. So your right foot pushes way over to the left. Now extend your right leg and pull your right knee towards your chest. And now cross your right ankle over your left thigh, figure 4 downward facing dog. Step your right foot so it comes outside of your right hand. Keep your back knee lifted. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Bring your right hand down and move back to downward facing dog, and we'll take all of that on the second side. Lift your left leg. Bend your left knee, allow your hip to open up. Re-extend your left leg. And now pull your knee towards your chest, a little bit of a core moment here. Figure 4 down dog, cross the left ankle over the right knee. Step your left foot outside of your left hand, keep your back knee lifted. Inhale to reach your left arm up for a big twist. Bring your left hand back down to the ground, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. We're gonna start to move through that a little bit quicker, more on a 1 breath, 1 movement tempo. Inhale, lift your right leg. Bend your knee, open your hip. Re-extend through your right leg. And now pull your knee to your chest. Figure 4 down dog, right ankle over knee. And step your right foot outside of your right hand. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot back. Inhale, lift your left. Bend your left knee, open your hip. Inhale to extend your left leg, and exhale, pull your knee to your chest. Figure 4 down dog, left ankle over right knee. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, bring your left hand down, downward facing dog, left foot meets right. And we repeat, inhale, reach your right leg high. Bend your right knee, open your hip. Inhale to extend the right leg and pull your right knee to your chest. Figure 4 down dog, ankle over knee, pull the right knee back and step your right foot outside of your right hand. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, bring the right hand down, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Bend your left knee, open your hip. Inhale, extend your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose, contract through the core. Cross your ankle over your knee, send the hips back. Left foot outside of left hand. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Downward facing dog. And now we're going to do something a little bit different. Inhale to reach your right leg high. And now step your right foot so it comes outside of your right hand, back to this low lunge position. Keep your back knee lifted. Reach your right arm up, find this twist. Bring your right hand down and now start to walk your fingertips so they come out in front of you. So your hips are still lifted, your back knee is still lifted. It's a little more active, but we're getting much deeper into the right hip. You can find a little bit of movement here if you'd like to rock forwards and backwards. Continue that breath into your hips, into your lower back. And then bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lower your back knee down to the mat. Take your right arm, circle it around, bend your back knee and try to catch your foot. So you can be on your left forearm as I'm demonstrating, or you can be up on your left hand, whatever's more accessible to you. Whichever variation you're taking, continue to push your hips forward. Peel your right shoulder open. Energize through the crown of your head. And keep those big belly breaths moving. Release your hand in your back foot. Three-legged dog, send your right leg up into the air. Give it a moment here if you want to kick around through your right foot, just letting some fresh oxygenated blood move into your leg. And now lift your left leg. Step your left foot outside of your hand. Keep your back knee lifted. Reach your left arm up. And then bring your left hand back down and start to walk your fingertips so they come far out in front of you. Try to stay off of your elbows as much as you can so it's a little more active. You have to use your hands almost like a very long, one-legged downward facing dog. You can let your head release as much as accessible to you. Breathe into your hips, breathe into your upper back. And then gently lower your back knee. Take your left hand up, back and around, bend your back knee, maybe catch your foot. You can be on your right elbow or you can be propped up on your right hand. Even if you're not able to catch the foot with your hand, try to spin your heart space like your left shoulder up and back towards the ceiling. Push your hips forward, feel this opening into the front of your right quad, into the right hip flexor. And then slowly release. Both hands come back down to the ground. Three-legged dog, left leg up into the air. Give it a moment, shake it out. Find a little bit of release there. And place your left foot back down to the mat. Lower your knees back to tabletop position. Bring your knees a little bit wider, big toes together. Send your hips back to child's pose. And back in our child's pose, the same place that we began our series. Notice any differences you may feel in your body. Maybe physically, maybe mentally, or maybe just with your breath. Take a moment of gratitude for your efforts that you've brought into this session today. And allow yourself to bring this breath with you for the rest of your day. Find a few more expansive breaths into your ribs. And then slowly start to walk yourself up. So you're coming to sit on your knees. Your hands will rest on your thighs. Allow your eyes to close. And give yourself the gift of a few more moments of stillness and silence. Be in your body, be in your skin, and find this present moment. Feel your spine lengthen, feel your shoulders release. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.